Hey everyone, David here. So it's time to do that first Q&A with all the questions that you guys sent in on the last video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And to kind of get ahead of myself a little bit here, if you want to send in a question and didn't manage to catch this video in time, then please post in the comments your questions and maybe I'll do a follow-up Q&A video. So let's start off with the first one. By the way, some of you guys posted more than one question per person, and usually I would kind of set some rules for that, but at this point I really don't care. I really don't. So first question from William DeMarco, Q&A, did you watch Smallville? Actually he's got, well, 3 comments. Wishing me a blessed and great day. Thank you very much, with an awful lot of halos and smiley faces. But his question was, did you watch Smallville? Yes and no. I watched, I think, like the first 2 or 3 seasons, like fully, and then I kind of started to kind of dwindle off around the 4th or 5th season, and then of course I just dropped off the mat with it because it was too long. I thought it was going on a little too much. Certain episodes where things were happening that I just didn't cater to me, and I don't know, I just didn't go through with it. I had a falling out with the show, and I wouldn't mind necessarily going back to the show, especially since my girlfriend's a humongous Smallville fan, so it's just only a matter of time before she gets that bonus at her work and she uses the money to buy that complete series DVD set at Best Buy or something like that has all 10 seasons on it, and we're gonna binge that motherfucker. And hopefully then I can make like a firm judgment on the show, because like I said, I've only watched like the first 2 or 3 seasons in their entirety, and only like season 3, 4, maybe 5-ish, I don't know, like just a few handful of episodes, not the entire thing. So I had a falling out with it, but I wouldn't mind catching up. It's just that I'm a little apprehensive because I've seen some things right there where they do like a bootleg version of the basically we've come so far with the CW shows like The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, with the inclusion of Superman in there, that it's like going back to Smallville and seeing that Green Arrow, that Aquaman, that, you know, it's kind of like, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know if we want to go back there. Next question from Kamen S. Is it Kamen S or Kamen S? Favorite line from a Batman movie, and are you a fan of the movie Point Break, the original? Not the remake. The remake sucks. Keep up the good work, man. Thank you so much. Fan of the Point Break movie. I never seen Point Break. At least not in its entirety. And I understand it's an important movie directed by Catherine Bigelow, and it's one of the movies that kind of stand off the Fast and the Furious franchise, because everybody kept saying that the Fast and the Furious, the very first one, was a copy of Point Break, only with cars. And I understand that. I can definitely see the similarities, but I've never seen the movie from beginning to end. And I know that sucks. Me being a movie buff, never caught Point Break from beginning to end, but I wouldn't mind checking it out. I know it's Keanu Reeves, Russell Crowe. I'm getting my Russells mixed up. Kurt Russell. Definitively a classic, but I never had a chance to kind of go through with it. As for my favorite line from a Batman movie, I know there's like so many that are kind of conventional, like you die the hero, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I also want to kind of jump out of the Nolan trilogy and try to expand my options here with other Batman movies, even some of the animated ones, but also with the Tim Burton Batman, like Let's Get Nuts, that sort of thing. I mean, there's so many quotes, and I'm trying to think of any that kind of stuck with me. You know, there's the whole, you know, why do we fall, Bruce, to get back up again, that kind of thing. And I will go with, I'll give the power back to you, the people. Okay, Spidey Fan 85 posted several questions, actually about 2, only one was copied twice. You don't have to copy it twice, dude. I can read it. So Spidey Fan 85 asks, can you please make Spider-Man the abridged cut for Spider-Man 4, the abridged cut, whatever the hell it was going to be. I'm gonna say no for now, only because when I was doing that series, I was actually, I can't remember if it was early enough to say this, but I think at the time I thought that there was going to be a legit Spider-Man 4. I think at the time we did not know that there was going to be an Amazing Spider-Man reboot from Sony with Andrew Garfield, all that. At the time, it looked like there was still plans for Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi to do a 4th one, and with that in mind, I was gonna kind of keep the aesthetics with that abridged cut series that was a stop motion series that was on my original channel, Black Spider David, which the videos are still up. If you want to go on YouTube and Google, well, not Google them, but search them, Spider-Man the abridged cut, I think it's actually one of the top ones you'll find. And I'm also very proud to note that I believe Spider-Man 3 the abridged cut part 1, I think it has reached 1 million views. Out of all those videos, I think there's one. I think it's Spider-Man 3 the abridged cut part 1. And the reason why it's called part 1 is because at the time I could not post videos longer than 10 minutes, so you only got part 1 that's like 9:59, and then you got part 2 that's like 5 something, because it would have been all just one big video, but I had to split it because at the time of that, which was 2007 or something like that, I had to split the video too. But that first part, that 10-minute part of the abridged cut, for Spider-Man 3, the stop motion, has reached 1 million views. And I'm very grateful for that. I really hope that I can find a way to replicate that here on this channel, but knock on wood. As for Spider-Man 4, like I said, the aesthetics were kind of attached to the whole Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire kind of lineage, and now that that's done, it kind of took the wind out of it. So now that we're dealing with all these interpretations of Spider-Man, my motivation to want to do a Spider-Man 4, even if it's to kind of like continue what it would have been like if it was like Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi, with the music and the aesthetics, like I said, and the characters, with the inclusion of Vulture or Scorpion or something like that. There's also the other factor that there's just not enough time, because at the time I was literally just going to high school. Yeah, 2007, 2008. It was just a matter of going to school and that's it. I didn't have to worry about a job. I didn't have to worry about moving out, finding a career, that type of thing. Now, adulthood, it's a little hard to try to make an abridged cut series involving stop motion animation, because you need an awful lot of patience, an awful lot of time, and an awful lot of inspiration and motivation to want to do that sort of thing to kind of put you through. Especially even if you come up with like the greatest story, I need to have a time set, like a schedule where I can devote an amount of time each and every single day to be like, okay, for like an hour or two, I'm going to focus on this scene. And sometimes things just kind of get in the way, whether it be with work, with the work or school, the film school that I'm going to, or even trying to move out to the big city of LA to hopefully kickstart an actual film career. So I don't want to say that the time is past, but don't be surprised if that is in fact the case right now. So I'm not going to rule out 100% the possibility of there being like a very short 5-minute type of thing that's kind of like a successor to that original series, but right now I just don't see it happening. But never say never. As for your second question, what do you think of The Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2, and are you excited for Spider-Man Homecoming? First of all, am I excited for Spider-Man Homecoming? Definitely a yes. As Ed says, day one, we are there. In fact, when that recent trailer and the poster, dear God, the poster, when those two things dropped, I immediately checked the tickets for Fandango, Cinemark.com, Regal Theaters, all of them, because usually when they do that, when they drop that final trailer along with a brand new one-sheet final poster, it's usually the time when they make the tickets available for people to purchase. That was not the case. So I'm still checking every like 2 to 3 days to make sure that those tickets don't go on sale without me knowing, and I'll be purchasing them day one. With that said, I am just a tiny bit apprehensive of all the inclusion of Tony Stark in there, especially with, like I said, that poster and the trailer. I feel like we're seeing a little bit too much Tony Stark to where people are making jokes saying, oh, this Iron Man 4 little, you know, they're saying the word, but it's funny. And that does make me just a little bit nervous, but who knows, you know, Marvel, with kind of the inclusion of Disney, they have proved us wrong, where we were worried that a character was going to kind of hijack the movie like BB-8 and Force Awakens, and that didn't happen. So hopefully that's not the case with Spider-Man Homecoming, and that doesn't necessarily dissuade my excitement for it. As for Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2, there was a time where I was kind of considering doing that kind of in-depth classic style type of review with those two movies, but they're very recent that I am not entirely sure whether or not I'm going to include them with, you know, Spider-Man 2 and 3, those classic reviews. I might not, I don't know, maybe by the time I get around to them, it's going to be a while, but all I know is that Amazing Spider-Man 2 is so recent that you can actually go through this exact channel and find my initial review on that movie. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. But what do I think? Very quickly, they're not good movies, but they're not bad either. There's missed opportunities. There's some cool moments. Overall, they're an attempt to try to branch off into something new that didn't necessarily succeed. And hopefully Sony will learn their lesson with their partnership with Marvel. I doubt it. Because of all those rumors of them taking back Spider-Man, holy shit, you better not do that shit. Okay, Foxy1223 says, how do you like Transformers? What make you like Transformers? By the way, huge fan, like your content. Thank you very much, Foxy1223. What make you like Transformers? How do you like Transformers? Okay, do you mean the movies or just the overall phenomena? I guess I'll go ahead and answer both in a sense. And did this person ask a second question? Okay, no, they didn't. Okay. So, what do I think about Transformers? The Michael Bay movies. I think that the first one is vastly underrated. It's a very fun popcorn flick that I feel like I can watch any day that it's on. I'm not going to necessarily finish, but there'll be at least a scene where it's going to be like, oh, it's that one moment. I'll finish watching this one scene and then go back to whatever it is that I was doing. It's a very enjoyable popcorn summer flick. 2 and 3, initially when I first saw those movies, I felt the same way about them that I did with that first Transformers movie, but since then I have rewatched them, and yes, there are some cringe-inducing moments in that movie that have kind of brought it down a notch for me, and especially Age of Extinction. And Age of Extinction, the biggest detriment with that fourth movie is the running time. Almost 3 hours, dude? No. I can actually feel my body exhausted from watching that movie or even thinking about watching that movie a second time. No. And here's to hoping that maybe last night will kind of cut it back and maybe we'll just deal with like a 2 hour and 15-minute movie. I can actually go by that. Pirates of the Caribbean was able to do that because the last few movies have been long as fuck, and then this one finally dialed it back to being just a little over 2 hours. So I'm like, okay, if you guys can do it, then I'm hoping that Transformers will do the same thing. And here's to hoping that The Last Knight will be better than the last few sequels, because I feel like there's potential there. There's potential there to be a solid popcorn flick just like the first one is. But I've been proven wrong, because those trailers for Revenge of the Fallen, especially that very first one that made it seem like a horror movie, obviously that was not the case with the actual tone of the flick. As for Transformers overall, still enjoy them, grew up with them, especially Beast Wars. Classic characters, classic animation. Well, the animation's not that great, but it's nostalgic. Whether it be with the 80s version that you grew up with the automobiles, or with me, with Beast Wars and the animals and the voice talent behind them. It's a cultural phenomenon that I managed to attach myself to, and it's fun. And also the action figures. I understand that the whole thing was created to sell the action figures, but the action figures are fucking bomb, because you're pretty much getting 3 figures in one. You're getting a vehicle or animal, you're getting a robot, and you're getting a puzzle. And transforming them back and forth, it's essentially a puzzle. So I love the action figures. It's just a humongous tragedy that the industry is just charging us way too much for those figures. Almost $20 for a deluxe? Go fuck yourself. Still only 35 cents. What's up, dude? Thank you for the little insight on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. finale. That's me to you. That's not what he read here. But his question is, how do you feel about the unavoidable phenomenon of celebrities sometimes canceling their scheduled appearances at Comic-Cons, especially at the 11th hour? Apart from the medical problems or family emergencies, many of those cancellations are due to a filming project suddenly cropping up for them. I think he meant to say popping up. I think that celebs shouldn't be so willing to schedule in advance if they are more willing to disregard their commitment to fan appearances. Seems like they're just wanting to tease themselves. Okay, this one's a little tough because, I can kind of correlate that with almost a normal job, because you have to consider that actors, celebrities, they do have a job, and that job is to be in the movies. It is to act in movies. And just like you would if you were working at a fast food place, you had the intention to go to work, and then suddenly you get sick or something comes up that's like a family tragedy or something that needs to be taken care of, and you need to call out and be like, hey, I can't come. Even though I said I was going to come, I can't come. Or vice versa. You had the day off, and you planned something with your girlfriend or your friends or whatever, but they call you in. And even though you do have the choice to say yes or no, you notice that you're low on hours for that week. So you kind of have to say yes. And I know it's frustrating. And many people in that situation get frustrated. Whether it be that version of the scenario or the opposite one where, like I said, you were going to go to work, but then you call off. You're going to frustrate somebody, whether it be yourself or the manager or the employees, because they were counting on you and now you can't come in. So now they get frustrated because now they have to deal with this other people and all that kind of stuff. I can kind of take that analogy and apply it here too, where yes, they have to cancel at the 11th hour. And you have to be understandable when it comes to tragedies or getting sick or whatever, because you rather have them be better, because they're people. They are people. Outside of the celebrity status, they are still people. They are still human beings. As much as I don't like people in general, I can be understanding of some things, and that's one of them. Now, on the devil's advocate side, I do think that some celebrities do need to take some better responsibility because it is, again, like a job. And sometimes being able to be there with your fans who have supported you all this time, it's an ethical thing. And you do need to look ahead of your ahead of time, and be responsible with those people and their ambitions for you. You need to take up responsibility and know ahead of time, like, are you going to be able to commit to this or not? So it's a very gray area, and it's no right or wrong saying, yeah, you should definitely devote, no matter how sick you are, no matter who died in your family, you needed to. No, because there are situations like that where you have to understand of that situation, but at the same time, the celebrities do need to be responsible and not be selfish because, like, oh, yes, I'll definitely come in at the last second without ever considering how these people might feel at the conventions. Just drop at the 11th hour, like I said, to do something that could maybe have waited. Overall, it's a gray area that it's a case-by-case basis where certain factors need to play in, and I can't give you a definitive answer there, but so many things need to be taken into account because somebody paid money to see you, and that somebody could potentially get pissed if they don't get their money's worth. So, AMG versus Bowman, or Cross Bowman. I'm going to say Cross. Can you grow your hair back and start wearing glasses again? First of all, I never stopped wearing glasses. I take them off mainly because of what you can see right here is the reflection in my glasses. Because some glasses do offer that coating where you don't see the reflection, and that's cool. But lately, I've been on a budget, and I had to get glasses that have the reflection on them whenever I shine the lights and I set up the lights and all that. So most of the time I take them off, but when I have to see something from a distance, whether it be my camera or my screen here where I'm reading your guys' questions, then I do have to put the glasses back on. So that explains why the glasses are sometimes absent, but for the most part, I still am wearing glasses and they've never come off. As for the long hair, hell no. I don't know. That was a phase. I hate to break it to you, but that was a phase, and I don't see it coming back anytime soon. So DJ AD70, but why are you asking that though? My question to you is, why are you asking? Don't reply there. DJ AD70, what is your favorite video game in recent years? Right now I'm playing Injustice 2, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I've spent, I think, probably about 20 hours now in Injustice 2, and only 5 of those hours was on the story. The rest of the 15 has been me grinding the characters so I can level them up, give them cool gear, all this other stuff. And that's one of my favorite games. And as for this year overall, I'd say it's between Injustice 2 and Horizon Zero Dawn. I would say Zelda, but again, I can't bring myself to spend $400 on just one game. Because that's all that it's doing it for me for the Switch. And even if I wanted the Switch, I can't fucking find one. Nintendo! Anyways, as for the past recent years that I can actually kind of think of, obviously Last of Us, Uncharted 4, almost anything from Naughty Dog. But outside of them, I would say maybe Firewatch. Firewatch had a story that just had me riveted that I'm like, man, I really do wish to revisit this soon. And so many other games where there was an awful lot of content, and I can't really think of any right now directly in terms of like you said, the most recent years. But there's been so many that I feel like if I say them, I'm going to be like, oh, that one again. But Firewatch is one that's rather unique that I don't hear that many people talk about, that it's a really, really good game, and more people should be able to check out. That came out last year. As for the past couple of years, 2013, 2011, 2012, yeah, so many games. Dishonored, first Dishonored caught me by surprise. Yeah, so many games to kind of list, but I really can't put them in a list right now, because if I had looked at this question ahead of time, maybe that would have been the case, but I didn't. That's why I tried to do with all these questions right here, so not look at them ahead of time and try my best to answer them as honest as possible without any precognition on camera. So sadly, I can't give you a firm answer, but hopefully some of those games that I listed are there. And it's funny enough, I'm not going to list some of the other more generic answers that you probably heard, like GTA 5. I thought about GTA 5, but then I thought, everybody says GTA 5. I don't want to say GTA 5. I don't. Asparagus, nice name, dude. Asparagus98 asks 2 questions. How many Hot Toys figures do you have? I have basically all 4 main Avengers from Age of Ultron, so there's 4. I have Darth Vader, and holy shit, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. oh, good God. I could have sworn I did have more, but I guess not. Yeah, all 4 Avengers from Age of Ultron: Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and Darth Vader. And that's really about it. There were so many other Hot Toys that I was contemplating buying, but unfortunately, push came to shove. I had to save money, and I had to cancel those pre-orders. Some of them included Deadpool. I really wanted Deadpool, but I had to cancel my pre-order. And actually, that's really it. And there's one that I would love to pre-order, but for some reason, BBTS, Big Bad Toy Store, the pre-orders are not up yet. In fact, there's been no kind of news for this figure at all that it leads me to believe that I don't think that figure is either coming out at all, or if it does come out, it's probably not going to be until next year. And that's the Suicide Squad version of Batman. I've been wanting that, but there's no pre-order set up, not even from Sideshow, so I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Other Hot Toys that I have on pre-order that hopefully I will not cancel due to money issues are Daredevil from the next Netflix show, Arkham Asylum Joker, and Arkham Knight Batman, because that dude looks G'd up, really cool, and I would love to own him. So those are the 3 figures that I have pre-order right now. Hopefully I will keep those pre-orders, I will buy them, and hopefully I will review them. And your second question, Aspera guys, will you do more vlogs outside or in other places? To be honest, I don't even know if vlogs are going to continue. Like I said in that last video about the long range format, I'm planning on just doing a podcast style type of show every week, or maybe even bi-weekly, maybe 2 a week, because sometimes so many news are get released, especially within the next 2 or 3 weeks when we're going to be getting E3, that I might have to do 2 a week instead of just 1 a week. But that's where the vlogs are going to go, to that podcast style type of video. And as far guys, if you do want to know more about that situation with the vlogs, whether they happen outside or not, then please check out that video. I did make an entire video putting the poll out there, asking you guys, do you want to see the vlogs kind of be compiled together, even though they're not separate videos, but it's like one long 30 to 45 minute, maybe an hour long video that's kind of done in the form of a podcast, where I talk about either the latest news and movies, games, TV shows, action figures even, maybe, who knows, pop culture, that kind of thing, as well as opinion pieces that I would normally do in the vlog style here on this on the channel. And that's all compiled and saved up for like the end of the week or something like that. And again, because of how many news would happen, it could also expand to 2 times a week. Who knows? It's all dependent on you guys. So please check that video out and give me your feedback. And then the last question here, which has been the best comic book TV series this season in your opinion? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They've been killing it. It's honestly, it's the only one that I've been watching, and I did watch Luke Cage within that general area. Between the 2, I will have to pick out Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it just had a fun level to it, combined with an awful lot of genius choices where they were able to tie in all the story arcs together. Whereas Luke Cage, it was really good, but 2 words: Misty Knight. And lastly, before I forget, I actually almost missed the question here. Least liked critic 75. I'm sorry, dude. Your thing looked similar. The little icon has the same shade of blue as William DeMarco's comments, so I thought it was him again. So sorry, it completely sneaked by me. But before I wrap up, last question: which canceled TV show would you bring back? Agent Carter. I know everybody says Firefly, all these other shows that only got like 1 or 2 seasons, whatever. But to me, the one that kind of hurt me, knowing that they canceled, was Agent Carter. At least one of the more recent ones. And I would definitely bring that back, especially because it ended on a cliffhanger. We need answers. So that wraps up my Q&A, and as you can tell, it's kind of having an effect on my throat. I'm not even sick anymore, and it's all this phlegm and shit. It's just, oh, it's so annoying. I don't know why colds hit me so hard, and even with the lasting effects, but whatever. That does it for my very first Q&A. At least it's, I think, one of my first Q&As. I might have done one like years back, but thank you so much for sending me guys questions. If you guys wanted to see another Q&A from me, then of course, give me some more questions by doing so and dropping them in the comments below. Do not forget to support this video by liking and sharing, and following me on Instagram and on Twitter at DarkSpiderDavid. You can even send me the questions on there. You want to tweet at me, post a question there, you can do so also. And make sure to support the channel by hitting the subscribe button, and hopefully sooner rather than later, I will bring you guys some cool stuff, especially with that long range format, because I think I can maybe devote some good time to it to make it kind of look professional, you know, insert some graphics, because I want to get back into the passion of making videos kind of worthwhile, instead of just doing the basic cutting, the basic splicing, the basic graphics, that sort of thing. I want to get kind of intricate with it and meticulous with it, so that the videos are worth it, and the videos would be cool and liked, and hopefully we can expand broader, and maybe this podcast will be the thing that I need, because you know, it's hard. It's hard, guys. It's been kind of hard lately with the self-esteem issues and that sort of thing. It's kind of hard to continue with the channel, but only time will tell. All I say right now is that the next couple of videos I'm excited for, because we got the Injustice 2 review. I'm wrapping up Injustice 2 finally after playing it for, like I said, 2 hours, and hopefully my review will go up sometime this coming week, along with my review of Wonder Woman. I'm set, got my tickets, me and my girlfriend and our friend who loves Wonder Woman with a passion. We're gonna go check it out Thursday night, and hopefully my review will be up around Friday. So look forward to that, and after that I might or might not be taking a break from videos, at least posting them, because during that time it's when I'm going to be devoting that to creating this podcast that hopefully will be cool and you guys will be excited to see. So until next time, guys, take very good care of yourselves, and I'll see you all later.